introduction. Please, you have to forgive me today because I don't have it all together. What is the? Is this the third one? This is the third one. Okay. I think we are on. I'll make sure my little breast is not showing up.
Christy, are you resting?
Am I resting? Do I not look like I'm resting?
Mm-hmm. You feel rushed. What's going on?
I feel because I have an appointment. I just finished an appointment, so I have to.
Oh, okay. Okay. No worries. I just want to make sure you're good.
I'm good. All right, all right. Where's your I want to.
One of my friend from Nigeria just called me and said, "We miss you. We're at the space and we're thinking about you. You can dance. You can dance."
You know, you move around when you I was watching your husband, your wedding. You and you just having it. You know, you texted him the other day. He came up again. Your wedding with you guys.
Did it?
Yeah, and let me put my little girl in.
That's okay. That's okay, girl. I'm trying to work on. That's why you saw me adjusting. I'm like, let me just make
I'll
sure.
put my little girl in.
Make sure it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Harmony Alchemist. It's a live harmony alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I'm already on. Well, hello, and welcome. No, there's no hello. Welcome to the Storytell to Sell Global Summit. My name is Dr. Christy Iwuchukwu, and I am super excited bringing you another speaker for that Global Summit today. So what do I really do when I'm not doing this? I teach female entrepreneurs in the early stage of their business how to create Is that you?
Christy?
Okay.
I tell you what that means is that we're gonna start over.
Okay, well, shoot.
And take your time.
Okay, this is
that just shows you we are ready to rock and roll. We are ready to rock and roll.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Dr. Christy Iwuchukwu. I am super excited for our conversation because I am bringing you another awesome speaker for our summit. But what do I do? When I am not doing this, I teach female entrepreneurs in the early stage of their business how to leverage their story to create a powerful conversation that connects them with their ideal clients so that they can increase sales and conversions. That's right. I help you tailor your design narratives to reach your audience on a much deeper level so that you can increase impact and influence. That's right, because I don't believe one size fits all. In our conversation today, I am bringing you another powerful speaker coming to us all the way from the United States. I'm talking about Dr. Marrian Efua. So who is she? Dr. Marrian Efua is a life harmony alchemist. She's a healer. I'm bringing to you. Well, listen, I am bringing to you another powerful speaker. Our speaker today is Dr. Marrian Efua. She is a life harmony alchemist, a healer, a teacher, a mentor, a coach, a speaker. She is an international retreat facilitator. Please help me welcome our speaker today for the summit, Dr. Marrian Efua. Welcome to the summit.
Hey, Christy, thank you for having me here and welcome to the summit, everybody. Let's get ready to rock and roll. These speakers are just phenomenal and I'm sitting here taking notes and I'm reviewing notes and you should too. So thank you, Christy, for allowing me to be a part and share from my wealthy place.
Awesome. And for the audience, I appreciate you being here. And if you haven't had an opportunity to grab your premium and for our speaker, I can't get it together. And listen, for our audience, if you haven't had an opportunity to grab your premium pass, please do so, because you get an opportunity to not only listen right now for all our speakers, you get an opportunity to also listen way after the conversation is over. And you not only get the videos, you also get the audio on the go, plus all the plus 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 all the bonuses that you're going to receive. So be sure to grab your premium pass. So let's begin this fun and let's begin the conversation. In today's conversation, we're talking about the entrepreneur backpack. That sounds intriguing, because I am ready to find out about the entrepreneur backpack. But first of all, she's going to tell us a little bit about who are you, Dr. Marrian Efua. Please tell us.
Yes, thank you, Christy. Sure. Thank you for the introduction and the opportunity. So I will tell you who I am. I'm a life harmony alchemist. What that means is I support individuals through my programs, through my services, through my retreats, to access the greater parts of themselves, to restructure their lives, their businesses in such a way that they're in harmony. Just like when we have a choir, there are multiple sections in a choir. They all are singing the same song, but in their register, in their true essence, in their lane. And that's what I support people in doing, how to have life harmony. And there's core 7 life structures.
Awesome,
and that means spiritually, mentally, having optimal physical health, being able to leverage and monetize your skills, your talents, your abilities, your knowledge, having financial assurances. And the one everyone wants to have is a rewarding and reciprocating relationship. So when we get in harmony in those 7 life structures, it brings about a difference. But today I'm going to tap into the part about the entrepreneurial backpack. The entrepreneurial backpack, because that goes into that leveraging your skills, your talents, and abilities. So today, Christy, that's what I plan on sharing with you here in the summit.
You know, just the name alone is very intriguing. So I must ask you, talk to us about the entrepreneur backpack. What are the components of entrepreneur backpack? And what is it in general? If you can just explain more so that our audience, our listeners, can understand what you mean by entrepreneur backpack.
Absolutely, Christy. The entrepreneur backpack is a concept that I developed after working over 20 years with entrepreneurs. And all the time I noticed in reviewing my notes and thinking about the years of experience and going on stage and coming back, I realized that a lot of entrepreneurs have the motivation. The entrepreneurs have resources. They have the skills and talents. They have the marketing plan. They have the targeted market. They are aware of what to do, but they're not sure how to do it. There's not a clear path. They don't have the tools organized enough to utilize to have the maximum impact. So this entrepreneur's backpack addresses the mindset of the entrepreneur. It addresses the infrastructure of the person and their business. It addresses the procedural processes that have to be in place. And it also is dealing with them as an individual.
You know what? I serve mostly women in the new business, or rather women that are new to their business.
Yeah.
In the early stage of their business. I serve women in the early stage of their business. And if you are coming on to a new business or doing anything new, we're talking to entrepreneurs today. This is for entrepreneurs. How does someone know how to access the backpack? How do they even know what a backpack is?
Yeah, and that comes from
backpack. How do they know?
Sure. That's a great question, because most people think they're ready. As I said, they have all the components. But to access the backpack, it means you have to take time out to do some introspection, and more than just writing out a business plan of your wishes, hopes, and aspirations, but also going deeply and figuring out what is the best path that I need to take that gives me the least resistance to what it is I desire, right? We want a successful business. We want a business that allows us to have layers. So it doesn't matter if you are a novice in your entrepreneurial journey or you're a seasoned entrepreneur, because at some point you're going to stop being an entrepreneur and you're going to become clearly a business owner. Then you're going to become an investor, right? And you're going to be a revenue puller from that business. That's what the ultimate flow chart is for someone who becomes an entrepreneur. The goal is to eventually move to the place where you can withdraw the revenues with little effort because you've set up a system. Whether you scale it or you sell it, it benefits you at the end. So this backpack has all the components. And I just want to go quickly and remind people, if you could go with me for a moment for a visual of what a backpack looks like. I'm not talking about the cute one that just has the nice little backpack they sell, like, from Coach or from Louis Vuitton. I'm not talking that small backpack. I'm talking about the one we take when we go camping. Because in each section, there's a section that is designed specifically for a tool or for a resource that you may need while you have that backpack on your back, while you're traveling into this new terrain, while you're exploring, while you're building, while you're gathering and connecting with other people. So that's what this backpack is supposed to do for entrepreneurs.
Wow. So then what would you think is the reason some people doesn't know about this or don't engage in it?
Well, they don't engage in taking time to develop an entrepreneur's backpack because, one, they don't even know that it's necessary. Right. I, for one, can tell you that when I started business, my very first business I had, I was 17 years old. Nobody ever told me to worry about my infrastructure, to have a way of managing my customers. No one ever told me that I needed to make sure that I prioritize the duties and the responsibilities of myself in a new business. Nobody told me to make sure I understood accounts payables and receivables. No one expressed to me that my patterns of behavior as an individual, as a person, greatly impacts how I handle my customers, how I present my product, how I receive my vendors and my customers.
As you are talking about this, I'm thinking about myself as a new entrepreneur, not knowing step 1, step 2, step 3. And that was one of the things that really kept me going for a very long time without result, because I didn't know where to begin. But most importantly, how to get what I wanted. Because as you know, it's so noisy out there. And if you don't know what you want, where you're going, and where to get it, it's going to take a very long time. And that's one thing that you are very good at. So talk to me. When we talk about entrepreneur backpack, how can these people, these entrepreneurs, how can they access the backpack that you're talking about?
So again, the backpack comes from introspection and reaching out to someone who could support you. Sure, I'm one option. I'm a viable option. I'm a willing option to come and sit down with you and let's walk through those 7 life structures and apply it to your business, right? Is your business mentally sound? Are you mentally using your acuity of your mental state? Or are you overwhelmed, stressed, right? Unsure, doubtful? I know that Christy deals a lot with confidence building and restructuring yourself to have that greater sense of yourself to present yourself in your business. Are you spiritually, are you understanding that, are you in conflict saying, making too much money puts me in conflict with my spiritual reality, right? Are you we're going to look and visit, is your physical health being impacted? Are you sleeping enough? Are you eating? Are you drinking water? Are you getting physical movement? We're going to figure out how to put those tools in place that allow you to do that. We're going to look at your skills, your talents, and your ability, and we're going to outsource and see if we need to outsource or insource someone to help support you on this journey. I will stop right there and pause because I felt like in that very moment, a lot of people cringed when I said, bring in someone or outsource, because your mind went right away to money.
Yes. Yes.
And you're going, I'm bootstrapping this. I'm not bootstrapping. I got shoestrings going here trying to get this business off the ground. But here's something I learned from one of my mentors. Her name was Lisa Nichols. And she said this to us in the program. She said, don't waste your time on penny tasks. Your mind and focus should be on your content, your products, right? And getting your customers. That's what you do. You're the money maker. Hire somebody, pay them $10, $20 an hour for 4 hours once a week. And how much more would that do for you? It eliminates stress. Sure, you can make a flyer. We all can go and use a program and make a flyer. But what if you gave it to someone who could do that flyer in 5 minutes versus you taking 5? Yes. So that don't get caught up on I don't have. Focus on what's the possibility. What is the best case scenario? And this entrepreneur's backpack is to show you how to walk you through the different components of your business based on these 7 life structures. So we
Wow.
go through and we assess your skills. We look at the quality of your products and services. We match you up possibly with a mentor. You're going to identify how you can get into the circles you need to get into, the training you may need to improve on. Yes, these are all tools. Having viable resources like a simple, great laptop, right? Having a great laptop, having sufficient Wi-Fi, or having a portable Wi-Fi system so that you're always able to be in connect. It's not about creating this big fancy illusion. It's about getting started, but getting started with everything in gear. This backpack is for the times when you need to restart, reset. I think about, I just popped and thought about a race car driver. They make pit stops. Why is this? They make a pit stop because at the pit stop are the new tires, the new fuel that they're going to put in there to make sure you can get around that last lap and make sure you get across that fence. That's what we want to do. We want to cross the finish line of our entrepreneurship and cross over into ownership, to cross over into being able to scale our business to the level we would like it to be, in harmony, not in conflict. Developing relationships professionally and personally that support you on your journey. So all of this needs to go in your backpack. And of course, there are more details, Christy, that we can talk about. I gave a few examples.
And you know what? As you are talking, I'm just thinking about myself when I was starting out, being on Canva, couple of hours trying to create just one design. And guess what?
Yeah.
It didn't even come out good.
Yeah.
Versus now that I have a team, I have people to do it before I close my eyes and open, they've already done it. And it saves me the headache. It saves me a lot of overwhelm. That was one of the things that I struggle with, overwhelm. And you guys know, if you are watching us right now, you know when you're overwhelmed, you just quit. You don't want to do anything anymore. But when you can pay somebody, just to echo what she said, when you can pay somebody little money to have them do it well. And you focus on the thing that you know and you can do well. It makes a big difference. Here's the challenge though, as a new entrepreneur, like I said at the beginning, you don't even know what you need. And one of the things that I myself challenge with is knowing what I need. And I love when you said entrepreneur backpack, because in there is also, when you have this product, awesome product and services that you have created, how do you give it to someone else? How do you deliver that? So you saying in what you do, you also help individuals. Not only what do you do in the 7 steps that you talked about, but then how do you deliver it to the customers?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
So, talk to me. You know what I do, that I work with women in the early stage of their business, teach them how to leverage their message using the power of storytelling, whether they are creating their signature talk, really teaching them how to create a message that resonates with their ideal clients so that it can reach them on a much deeper level to create greater impact and influence. Talk to me and tell me, how do you use storytelling in your business?
Well, storytelling is an essential part of what I do, because it is through storytelling that I'm able to access the deeper parts of my clients. Through storytelling, they're going to tell me their story, and then I may listen to that story and I can pull out the morals. I can pull out the values. I can pull out the paradigms that may be tripping them up, the fears, the doubt. And then on the reverse side, I use stories as a way to bring people into the conversation, to have the buy-in. to show them they're not alone, that this is not something isolated. You're not some anomaly that's the only one that's ever had this problem, but you're just someone who has not had an awareness of it or an experience of it that needs to be addressed. So storytelling is essential. You know, my cultural background, we tell a lot of stories. If you can't tell a good story in my family, you might as well not even come around. Just go sit on the other side, because stories give us life. Story gives us healing. Stories give us a place to escape to, right? It gives us a place to connect. So I very much believe in storytelling as part of your journey. Even telling your story in your marketing, telling your story in your products, right?
And thank you for that. Storytelling is, I use this as an anchor. I just don't use it in one way, whether it's creating signature talk or whether you're trying to connect with your audience. Oftentimes, I know that people will have an amazing product, but if you don't know how to deliver it in such a way that your audience will get it, it becomes so pushy. You become so salesy, and people are running away from you. But when you can weave what you're saying into the story, it's easy for them to consume. I remember growing up, I still remember it like it was yesterday, growing up, having the elders tell folklore stories, and I couldn't wait to finish my chores every night to go and listen to those stories. Little did I know that I will eventually come to love those stories and use them when I provide products and services for people, and teach people as well how to use your story as an anchor to connect to your audience. Because when you can connect to them, they can understand what you're saying, they can listen to what I'm saying, they can consume what you're saying in a much easier way. Can you imagine being that person that is holding a medication on your hand?
That's it.
And you are trying to find a silver plate to put it in there so that it will look so nice. And the person waiting for you and saying, I just need the medication to heal myself. I don't need you to put it on a silver plate. Just give me the medication. You are that person that is holding that medication. And guess what? The person is going to keep waiting until you show up. What am I saying? Perfection will bring about paralysis. I'll say it again. If you're watching this, I want you to listen to this because it's going to sink in. Perfection will bring about paralysis, especially if you are new. If you're new to entrepreneurship, if you haven't done that thing before, you are wondering, am I going to do it? Am I good enough? Are people going to laugh at me? Do I have enough knowledge to present this thing? Guess how you can learn? Guess how you can get better? The only way that you're going to get better is what? Is to go ahead and do it. I remember my very first video I put out there. I don't think I slept that night because I was so consumed about what other people would think. I was so consumed. What if people will laugh at me because I didn't say it properly? What if someone gave me a negative message, feedback, and said he didn't know what you're talking about? What if I didn't look good on a camera? First of all, it took me so many days to record it. I did so many redos on it, retake on it. And finally, when I got a chance to upload it, I deleted it because it wasn't good enough. I started to delete the second one I did, and I realized that the first video was better than the second one. You know what I'm saying? The first video was actually better than the second one. Just at the point of deleting the second one, I decided, no, what made me think that the third one was better than the first and the second one? I uploaded that video. But can I just tell you the courage, the confidence that kept me going doing other videos is that imperfect video allowed an imperfect soul to do her very first video. Get what I'm saying?
That's it.
When I received a comment from that imperfect soul that listened to my imperfect video and said, thank you, because of you, I can now go ahead and do my first video. I've been thinking about doing it, but I never had the courage, the confidence to do it. The
Absolutely.
only way that you can get better, especially if you are starting out in business, especially if you're a new entrepreneur, the only place, only I can get it out because I get excited. The only way that you can get it done, the only way that you can get better is to do it anyway. Do it afraid. And in doing so, you're going to get better every single time. Every single time that you're going to get better. And guess what? There's no way you can revise something that you have never created. I'll say it again because it's really going to
That's
sink
it.
in. You can never edit or revise something that you have never created. You must first of all create it, look at it, get feedback, and then revise it to get.
That's it. That's
So
the journey, Christy. Absolutely.
it
That is the
doesn't
journey.
come overnight. Rome is not built
Mhm.
in a day. And I can sit here and tell you that you can hear my voice, but I remember how it was for me, how excruciating it was for me, thinking about doing video, thinking of standing up and speak. Let me tell you, I understand the anxiety. Or even more so, standing up and telling a story, I didn't think I had it in me, let alone helping other people learn how to share their story. It can be a
Mhm.
good story, it can be a bad story. It really depends on how you share the story. There's always a lesson at the end of each story, and that lesson is the transformation people are looking for. But I'm telling you, when you learn to share your story properly, the right way,
Mhm.
oftentimes the people that I coach, the struggle, one of the struggles they have is they don't know the right story to share. And even when they know the right story to share, guess what? They don't have the confidence to stand up and deliver. And that's what I
Mhm.
help you do very well, must I say.
Yeah.
So I want you to keep listening. But as you listen, I want you to take something from what we are saying because we're all here to support one another. Dr. Afua, listen, I want to go back because
Mm.
what I really enjoy and like about what you do, that
Mm.
you don't just do one thing. You help an individual as a whole, as a spiritual person. You can hear the words that are not being said.
Mm.
You can hear the words that are not being said in an individual. We're talking about storytelling here. What are the stories that you think people are telling themselves that maybe stop them on the track of moving on their entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I talk about stories all the time, and that's the premise of my book, Seeking Escape. We're escaping those messages, those conversations, right? So we can begin to explore, seize, communicate all possibilities of expansion. And that comes from rewriting your story. I open up the book with Harry Houdini's life story that he came from a family of dentists. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to do something different. So he recreated himself. He chose how to recreate himself. He chose to create his own backstory. And so many of us, Christy, we're just holding on to the backstory of other things from outside of us, those things that cause us to create a story in reaction versus response, and allowing our innate information that's awaiting manifestation to narrate our life script. So we are going to look at what's really true about my life. Is it really true that I can't be successful? Is it really true that I'm ugly? Is it really true that I'm too fat or too skinny? Is it really true that I am uneducated? Is it really true that what I'm offering nobody wants? Is
Yes.
it really true that it's not my time? So when we begin to question the stories and the sentences and the conversations that are playing in our mind without us even pushing play, we can begin to go back and strike through it and rewrite the story and allow it to come from the inside out. That's why these type of conversations and summits are so important, because it should be a resting point for you to re-identify yourself as your true essence. And your true essence is not a sedimentary thing. It's not a title. It's not a location. It's not an age. It's not a gender. It's not a religion. It's not a practice. It's not an economic status. but it is your pure existence of everything that you have designed, that's been designed for you. So the vision that you have for your product, your service, this entrepreneurial journey that we're on together is destined to be. You just need to now tell the story that affirms that I am successful with this vision and that people do want what I have to offer. And I am organized enough and I am smart enough. And while I'm no longer procrastinating, because this is actually, I'm walking and moving in my purpose. This is what a story does. To revise your story, you must go inward to realize what the inaccuracies are. You must go in and you must begin to white out the parts, strike through the parts that are no longer relevant and true about you, that other people have added to your story that negate your existence, that negate your purpose, your contribution, minimize your values. And that always begins and ends with you prioritizing your identity, your truth, and your willingness to activate that truth.
Woo. You said it, your willingness to activate that truth and that
Absolutely.
truth. And that is so true because the stories we tell ourselves is the thing that stops us from moving forward. And I can only talk about myself. It's the story that I told myself that I am shy. And so once I confirm that I am shy, guess what? I'm going to find the stories. I did find stories to confirm that I am shy, that I couldn't speak, that, I have English as a second language. Well, that's not true. I haven't found out how to tell my story right, how to communicate in public, how to stand up and speak my truth. And oftentimes, those are the things that when we tell ourselves we are shy, we are fat, we are whatever we want to say, we begin to find an evidence.
That's it.
To make it real. I'll say it again. We begin to find an evidence to make it real.
And that is why I say you have what you believe, you have what you say, and you have what you practice. Because what you believe, you begin to speak out, as Christy talked about. And when you speak it out, you begin to draw those people, those images, those confirmations that she talked about. And so it limits your, and it shifts your attitude. It shifts your awareness. It takes away from your awareness to your vision. It takes away from your attitude to progress. It takes away from your aspirations. And then you're looking at your results and your revenues and your relationships professionally and personally, and you're questioning. It's because, as Christy said, you have found the evidence to support the false narrative. So this, going back to what I was sharing about the backpack, that's why, Christy, I say we cannot just address your finances or how to build customers or how to create a CRM or how to create a nice fancy package or how to be into this networking group. We have to go to the core, the root, the essence, the most valuable asset to your life advancement and your business's life advancement. YOU. That's what
Awesome.
the difference.
Awesome. We're bringing this into an end. You and I can talk.
Yes,
we can talk and talk and talk, but we only have a few minutes to do this. Sure. So I do appreciate you, and for the audience, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. But even more so is to remember to grab your premium pass, because the premium pass would allow you to listen to all these interviews from speakers all over the globe way after the summit. And it would allow you to also grab the MP3 player and on the go, as well as your bonuses after the global summit is over. And I don't want to miss you. I don't want you to miss the important information. As we bring it to the close, audience, I just want to thank you. And I want to thank you, Dr. Efua, for being here, giving up your time, giving up your expertise. But most importantly, do you have anything else that, exclusive gift you want to give to the audience today?
Yes, those of you that are here on this summit, thank you, Christy, for that. For your summit attendees and those of you, I do encourage you to get the premium pack, because sometimes when we're listening to things, we hear right? We listening and we can hear it, but we haven't given it a chance to actually activate it. So you might want to go back and purchase that package. That sounds like a great package, Christy. But for me, I would like to add to the bonuses by inviting people to have a brief conversation and an assessment of where you are and maybe some tools that you already have in your entrepreneurial backpack, but maybe we need to adjust them, the volume of it, the size of it, or add to it. So with that, you are going to get what is valued at over $350. You're going to have a chance to come and talk to myself and two other people in my team based upon your survey, and we will spend up to 1 hour and 30 minutes with you to get your backpack started.
Awesome. Awesome. So how can people reach you if they need to reach you, please?
Yes, you can find me on all social media networks. You can also go over to my webpage at exponentialexistence.com. Exponentialexistence.com.
Awesome. For the audience, again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And you know that I help you with your story, whether you're telling your signature story, you're crafting and creating your signature story, or you just want to use your story as an anchor to reach your audience, or you want to have a backstory regarding your business. I help you leverage your message using the power of storytelling. Please go ahead and click on my calendar below. Click on my calendar below, and I will get to working with you and help you find out what you need, because you deserve the best and your story matters. Thank you so much. And for now, bye, everybody. We're going to wait for our next speaker. Bye.
Until next time, peace and blessings. Thank you, Christy.
Okay, let's see.
All right.
Okay, I know you gotta go.
Yeah.
You have
I got 4 minutes. Hey.
Yeah, go. Well, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, love. All right, take care. We'll catch